Welcome guys, today I will be showing you my deck in Clash Royale, which I have been using for quite a while, and I've been using this deck since probably Arena 3 or 4, and now I'm in Arena 6, over at the moment almost 2150 trophies, and my highest with this deck is, actually go here, as you can see, almost 2250, so about 100 more than I am at the moment. So I'll go through the pros, cons, counters for this deck, and then I'll show you some replays, how I think, at least how I play the deck, and you can try to replicate that as well. So let's begin with the pros. So first of all, as you can see, this deck is very cheap. It's 3.3 elixir cost on average. So this is a flood deck. You can flood with troops, and this is both a pro and a con. So it's a pro because you can always deploy some troops as a distraction, for example for a prince or for a giant skeleton, and it also means that you can cycle through your deck very quickly. So for example, sometimes if I'm looking for a fireball, I can see it, I only need to deal or cast the spell only one time, then I can cycle through the deck quite quickly compared to other decks. And finally, a very important advantage or a pro is that this deck does not use any epic cards, so it's only common and rares, and this is very important for players like me who are free to play and not buying the magical chests. The reason for that is because at the current ranking I can't justify put a low level epic, because my epics, as you can see, are all level 1 and 2s, and for me to consider putting it into my deck I would need level 3. 2 could potentially work, but definitely not level 1. So that's a very good thing. Now about the cons, there are a few as well. So first of all, this deck does not use any buildings, and that's a con for when I play. I feel it's hard to counter golems, because usually they place golem and then a bomber or a wizard behind, and it's kind of hard to deal with because bomber and wizard or even baby dragon, they deal splash damage, which results in these in many troops dying, because this deck relies on many heavy numbers of troops. And if you would have a building, you could distract the golem, for example the skeleton spawner. So that's a con. And also for stuff like balloon, you could distract them as well with buildings, but I often see that archers and spear goblins are enough to deal with the balloon. So I feel that in this deck the problem is golem especially. Now other counters are ones that deal high splash damage. So bomb tower is a good counter for this deck, and in order to deal with bomb tower you have to know how to play around. So I usually, instead of deploying large number of troops, I try to deal a lot of damage with my hog rider, because he's one troop, and then I try to wait out until the bomb tower dies if I can. And other splash damage, so for example wizard, baby dragon and arrows as well, Arrows are very effective against this deck because they can kill archers, goblins, skeletons, and spear goblins. I think archers are almost killed. They have like one attack or like one hit before they die, so they are almost dead. So let me go and show some replays. You can see victory, quite a victory streak, and then a defeat streak. So I'll try to show you both some victories and some defeats. I can't remember these games, but I'll try to commentate what I'm thinking and what I'm doing. So the first one is against a level 8, and usually I start out by deploying the spear goblins or archers if I have them. And as you can see, he deploys a Tesla, which is quite strong at the moment. I'm actually considering putting it in my deck, and to counter it I place archers and the hog rider. I wait for archers to come close and then place hog rider, and here I shoot the fireball. This is a kind of discussed issue, if it's worth shooting a tower and the elixir pump. I don't know, I feel sometimes it is worth it. I usually do it if I have too much elixir. And to counter this push I placed, as you can see, some ranged troops and then the barbarians. Now this is hard to deal with because he has splash damage, which is the wizard, and then a hog rider, and as you can see he did more than half of the health to my tower. And here I try to go on offensive because I have troops left from the defense, so to utilize them I place my hog rider as well to deal more damage to the Tesla. Now, as you can see, we are just waiting for elixir to build up, and I try to push with barbarians, and then there should be a wizard behind. And here it's important to leave some distance because you don't want a fireball to hit all of them at once, so your wizard should be slightly, there should be distance between him and the barbarians. And then I try to defend with the hog rider. It's important when you defend with this deck not to deploy all of your elixir, because I can see that a very common strategy is to use freeze together with a hog rider, and if you deploy all of the troops they will all be freezed. So try to deploy some, for example like I did spear goblin or the regular goblins, and then wait a bit and see if he has a freeze, and then deploy others. And now here I'm all about defending because I got his tower down, and it's just a few seconds left. Okay, let's go to the next replay. So I play, let's see, it's very similar deck, it's using Tesla as well. I might skip this one over and go for a different one with giant skeleton. So it's also again level 8 and I'm only 7. So let's see. Okay, because I didn't have spear goblins and or archers in my starting hand, I just placed the hawk rider as my starting card. And to defend against baby dragon I placed archers, but then I placed it in the middle so he went the other way, and here I made the mistake again of placing the wizard towards the left, so he didn't kill off the dragon, which you can see did quite a lot of damage to my tower. However, he didn't defend because looking at his hand, he doesn't really have anything to defend against wizard in his hand, and therefore he did some damage to the tower. Now here I tried to split push. I tried to go for the right with the barbarians, but I saw that he placed the Tesla, so I used that chance and placed a hog. Now he froze, and to deploy more troops because I want to utilize the push that I have, and as you can see, I did some nice damage to the tower. Now here I'm actually considering placing the wizard to defend, and actually I do. I think I should have done that a bit earlier. And here you can see giant skeleton, how it is ineffective against this deck, because you can use the skeletons, you can use the goblins to distract, while the tower keeps shooting the skeleton. Here I think I make a mistake and place a hog rider. I wanted to distract the skeleton, but then I placed it too close, so my hog rider took a lot of damage from the bomb from this giant skeleton. Here I try to defend against the baby dragon and then distract the giant skeleton again. Now he has 2 giant skeletons, but that's not a problem. And barbarians are a good way to counter a giant skeleton. They die at the end, but they can easily deal with it and kill it off, unless giant skeleton is supported by a bomber or a wizard. And he tries desperately to kill off that tower, which means that I can kill off his tower on the left side. You can see he tries to defend it with Teslas, but I have my fireball and I can hit the Elixir pump as well. Now the giant skeleton, distract strategy, and as you can see I'm using the cycling through strategy that I mentioned before to get my fireball, then kill off his tower. So this is the advantage of this deck, that it's very cheap. Okay, let's go to another replay. Okay, I can show you with Golem. I won this, but only one tower that I killed. So let's look. It's against level 7. And I should be placing the archers on either side. Yep, that's my typical starting thing. And now I'm actually not sure what I will do. Maybe, okay, distract the archer with skeletons and then spear goblins. I try to push a bit. The reason for that is I have too much elixir, and if I place any troops to defend against that golem before he reaches my side, my troops are much faster than his, and it means that I will be trying to take him out on his side while his tower will be shooting me. So I don't want that, and that's why I try to counter push on the right side, and that resulted in him placing barbarians, which meant he used his elixir rather than placing something behind the golem to support it. So that's a strategy that you can use against a golem. Now I try to take out the Tesla with a hog rider, but when they place it in the middle, it means that both towers shoot and it will take out the hog rider. I think the hog rider can deal about half of the Tesla's health if both towers are shooting the hog rider. So here I think I will try to do the barbarian and wizard push. Yeah. And now since barbarians are killed, I place spear goblins as well to deal extra damage, because wizard on its own will only do a couple of hits on the tower. And now again I try to dig out the Tesla. He placed the golem very close. That means that he does not have much elixir to supporting troops, but it's double elixir mode, and that's why he got the barbarians there as well. So as you can see, I tried to push on the right side because that tower has much less health, and my typical push, as you can see, the archers and the spear goblins. Now here we will shoot fireballs, I think. Yeah. And now I think I will place the fog rider. And then the spear goblins, archers. Here he missed his arrows on the archers. And now I go full offensive. As you can see, he wanted to rush me down on the left side, and I did that on the right side. Okay, now let's go and look at some defeats. So which one should I... Okay, I'll just go to the first one. So I'm actually not sure why I started with the Hog Rider, because usually I start with the archers because it's a smaller investment, and now he has a mirror and used it to have double goblins, and you need to defend against that because they will reach the tower and deal quite a lot of damage. So now I was not sure what to do, so I placed some spear goblins, and now barbarians and probably wizard. Yeah. But he deals with it quite effectively with that lighting, and also baby dragon is very good at... It's not as effective as a bomber or a wizard to deal with barbarians, but still it's pretty effective. And as you can see, the Tesla deals quite good against my large amount of troops. And here I get quite nicely 3 hits against that tower. Skeletons to make sure. I think goblins will deal 1 damage without distraction, or 1 hit. But here with skeletons they didn't do any damage. Now he will try the baby dragon. And I think I will deploy some archers against it. For baby dragon here, I should have considered placing them before, but that would mean that they would be taken out by the baby dragon, but on the other hand it would not have gotten any hits off on my tower. And here you can see that he destroys my tower with the barrel and the baby dragon. And he has defended that side quite effectively with 2 Teslas, and it's quite hard to deal with it. Now the baby dragon as well, because it distracts my wizard with the spear goblins, and I don't think I can... Yeah, I don't think I would have killed with the fireball, as you can see there. When you play this deck, you need to know the exact damage of your fireball towards crown towers, because as you can see here, I thought when I played I would destroy the tower with the fireball, but I didn't. So it's crucial to know your damage. and besides, it's only one spell you need to memorize. Okay, so let's look at the second defeat. So here against level 8 I'll probably deploy Spear Goblins and see what he deploys. So now he has a double push, and I use the wizard to deal with the barbarians, but you can see a lot of Spear Goblins are coming on the right side, so that's why I deploy some skeletons, and as you can see they distract, and those 5 or so Spear Goblins didn't really do much damage, maybe 100 off the health of the tower, so it's quite effective. Now here I think I will consider fireballing because it's Elixir pump and a Spear Goblin hut, and I also hit the Spear Goblin as well. Wait up for the Elixir to build up, and as you can see, the Hog Rider that deals hits 2 times. Now Wizard, because I wanted to deal with the Spear Goblins, and a distraction again, because the Swordman would have reached the Wizard. Now this is 2 dragons and it's quite annoying. I should have waited for the archers because I placed them too close to the river, so my tower would not do any damage towards the dragon, so that was a mistake. And now he's flooding me with troops. So I deploy barbarians because I want to deal with the swordman as well, and he deploys baby dragon, which effectively deals with the barbarians because he does splash damage. Now he has 3 huts, so I hit 2 of them, but still that's many Spear Goblins, and he uses Spear Goblin card as well, so that's even more Spear Goblins. I think against this deck the arrows are very effective, but I don't have them, and as you can see he is just flooding me with troops. I tried fireballing, but slightly too late, and I need to kill off the tower or make like 1 hit with the Hog Rider, but I couldn't, so this is GG and I lose this game. So I hope that you have enjoyed this video and you have learned something. You can try to use this deck. As I said, this is very good for free-to-play players because it does not require any epic cards. At the beginning, before reaching Arena 5 and got the Wizard, I used Baby Dragon because he deals also splash damage. He can deal with the barbarians and other large hordes of minions. However, he deals less damage than a wizard. You can also consider substituting, and I know Baby Dragon is an epic card, you can also consider substituting wizard by the bomber. However, the only thing that you will have to think about dealing with is a minion horde, because wizard deals splash damage and he can take out a minion horde by 1 if you're lucky, or 2 hits, whereas bomber obviously does not hit air units, so you will have to think about how to deal with those. So I hope you enjoyed it, and see you guys in my next video.